Digital transformation is a pretty interesting phenomenon which is happening right now. From VMware, we look at it as four parts to it. One is modernizing the data center. How do you transform security? How do you actually get hybridity on the cloud between on-prem and public? And the fourth thing we look at is empowering digital workspaces. So that's what we define as digital transformation. Interesting part is India, the customers, 2/3 of the customers already on the journey of digital transformation, right? Any customer who's actually taken one or two of these tracks are pretty much on the track for transforming themselves digitally, right? We are seeing multiple industries adopting digital transformation. Okay, banking and finance, the biggest customer, SBI, has actually gone out and transformed themselves from modernizing the cloud. They have a large private cloud setup, and as well as they are looking at transforming the 25,000 branches across the country by empowering their workspaces. If you look at telecom industry, Airtel is a large customer. Airtel is completely transformed into software-defined data center. They use our technologies for both security as well as data center, and now looking at how they can transform the in workspaces. If you look at education, Belur Institute of Technology is a great reference customer that we have. Digital transformation is happening on all ends. I mean, it's happening on the cloud, it's happening on the devices which the kids and the students use. It's also happening in the libraries, so they're completely transforming it. It's a complete portfolio of VMware technologies they use to transform themselves. New age companies like Book My Show. Book My Show is the largest entertainment service provider that we have in the country, and everybody's familiar with what Book My Show does, right? We see the app, we see the portal, but all the technologies behind is all software defined. So the data centers, the endpoint management, and including security, I mean, they are the way to transform themselves. So digital transformation is happening across industries in varying formats. The good news is that everybody is looking forward to do it. And obviously it's a journey. It's not a milestone-based journey, but it's a continuous journey that happens. And the last point I want to make is that in companies where IT outcomes drive business outcomes, okay, that's where we see most of the digital transformation happening today. Multiple things happening in the market right now, right from IoT, right from cloud adoption, right from everybody getting very aware of security and the security threats that exist today, talking about defining the entire data center, the software layer, the multitude of factors which are driving digital transformation today. And I see that different industries, some adopt digital transformation because of regulatory nature, some adopt digital transformation for getting a competitive advantage in the market, and some adopt digital transformation to make sure that they are like future-proof with respect to the technology roadmap that they have. So there are multiple factors at play at this point in time on transformation for an Indian customer. They look for a short, medium, and a long-term strategy. As I said, it's a journey. It's not definitely milestone-based. It's not point-based journey. So they're looking for a longer roadmap with a partner. They look at partners like VMware from the technology side. They look at partners coming in and doing the day-to implementation and support for what they do on their premises. So multitude of factors, but then the journey itself is like, as long as the CIO realizes the short and the medium and the long-term milestones of the digital transformation, right? And as long as they have a very strong technology and implementation partner aligned, I think they are on a good journey to actually transform themselves digitally. There are two kinds of partnerships any forward-looking customer is looking at. He's looking at a very strong technology roadmap and a technology solution coming in from technology vendors like VMware and our friends in the industry. He's also looking for a partner who can actually get down to design, deploy, implement, and maintain the infrastructure for what they need, right? So these two kinds of partnerships are what companies generally look forward to, right, when they embark on this journey, right? The fact is that it's also a journey into the unknown. It's not something which is very intuitive for most clients, right? They expect a lot more hand-holding coming in, right? Both from a product strategy standpoint as well as keeping the lights on, right? So it's an evolving model at this point in time. The biggest gap that we're trying to fill is solution competency from our partners. So the IDC transformation report is basically like a horoscope which plots out the variables for the partner in terms of where the partner is doing well with respect to competencies and where are the competencies the partner needs to develop. And there's a fair amount of work done VMware with partnership with IDC to reflect that back to the partner in terms of letting them know we can't drive the car watching the rearview mirror, right? We look at what we have done and we need to look at what we need to do further. So this report is a great eye-opener for us and the partners to really look at what are the areas that the partner would like to focus on and how can VMware help them in the journey. It is nascent right now. Digital maturity among Indian partners is fairly nascent. But the good thing is there's a strong intent from the partner leadership to really look at how they can fill the vacuum on the journey, right? It's a start of the journey at this point in time for partners. Partly because all the tools that we use right now on the transformation journey are a little archaic and old. Right, we need to refresh the tools, we have to refresh the competencies. We have to really look at, going back to the earlier comment that I made, we have to look at how IT will drive the business outcome. So the journey has just started, and I feel positive that we are heading in the right direction with respect to the journey. We are squarely focused on partner profitability. I think the more profitable a partner is, the more sticky the partnership is going to be, and more relevant the partnership will be mutually between VMware and the partners, right? So heavily focused on master services competency. Coming off the back of Worldwide Partner Leadership Forum, we announced structured master services competencies for our partners. What we expect our partners to do is really take on those competencies and build on them. The more competent the partners, the more the customer satisfaction, the more the stickiness with the customer, and there were more services revenues that the partner can make. To answer it in short, it's focused on services competency in the partners and how we can enable them in that journey.